Alright my friends, how you all doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a fresh episode of F1 Manager 22 and our Aston Martin career mode. Today is a big one. It is the world famous and world renowned Monaco Grand Prix. I'm really looking forward to this one. Obviously with our race pace and our car, I don't think we're really going to be able to compete, but I think just for the sheer spectacle of what Monaco is, this one should be interesting. But we've got a bunch of stuff we need to take a look at before we crack on with all of that. So an overview of the Spanish Grand Prix. Obviously feel free to take a look at this stuff in more detail by pausing and whatever. Congratulate you on meeting expectations. So the last two races we've very much improved. That does have to be said. Braking and medium corner speed are the two things. I do this every episode and you know, I'm sure that you're all getting sick of it. I'm just checking a few things, but car development, current projects, yeah, we're still 29 days away from the new underfloor being done. We can't just do any other stuff at the minute. Like, this is kind of where we're at, so we're having to kind of deal with that. What I am going to do, though, we've got 36 million, so I'm going to take another look at like things like the facilities and whatnot, and the car development. So car design, where are we looking for like the next bunch? Like 11 million, 11.5 million, 10 million, 10 million, and 8 million for the car park test centre. So what would this give us if we were to upgrade this? I feel like we've got a fair bit of money like in reserve at the minute. We've done quite well the last two races. We're making nearly 4 million a race at the moment. So the engine cooling and the brake cooling. So upgrade a facility, improves its grade condition, the effects received from it, and boost effectiveness back to 100%. So I think if we did that, then it'd go up a little bit. I actually think that might be well worth it. It's going to take 38 days to do, but I think it's a worthwhile investment. Still a lot of money in the bank, to be fair, as well. Staff, we are obviously, I believe we're working on that. Yeah, the scout centre. That's 21 days until that's complete. We are currently, I believe we're currently scouting. No, we're not currently scouting this. Now, I was saying last episode, I think it might be worthwhile. We've obviously scouted this guy already, haven't we? Yeah, 74. It's a slight increase on what we've already got, but not a major increase. What it is I probably could go and scout maybe like this fella at AlphaTauri and whatnot. We get a feel for like his contract and whatever, but it's going to cost us to break his contract. Like, it's going to be a buyout fee basically if he's at another team. Whereas if we go for someone on a free and they've got, you know, pretty good development, then it might be worth taking a look. You know, he's only 39 years of age. I don't really want to go for anyone in the 80s just yet. I think we want to build gradually. I think that's kind of where I'm at. We've got Aaron Melvin at Haas. Be interesting to take someone off of Haas, wouldn't it? Considering they're like a rival team at the moment. Oh yeah, obviously Ferrari they've got the best. Then it's Red Bull. Then it's Mercedes. Yeah, I kind of expected that to be the case. What do? I think I might scout this guy. 30 days it's going to take. I've actually got another scout I could be using as well. I think I'm going to start scouting like more drivers as well to try and get ready, because there's a chance we could lose both Vettel and Stroll. I think Vettel's contract is extortionate for kind of what it is and what he's able to offer us. He's only an 82 rated and he's on that sort of money. And we see that Pierre Gasly was on half that at AlphaTauri. He's into the 7 months. It's going to cost 2 million to kind of break that contract. I think this season, I'm going to try and see this season out with the drivers that I've got, but I think I might maybe change at least one of the drivers for next year. I was going to scout K-Mag. He's 29. I quite like K-Mag in real life. I think he's a very aggressive driver. I'm going to scout K-Mag, because what I ideally want to do for next season, if we do change the whole team, because I don't know what the situation's going to be with Sebastian Vettel. We know in real life he's retiring, but we don't know if that's the thing in the game. So I think what I kind of want is a more experienced driver and then a younger driver, you know. So I think a team of, say, Gasly and Magnussen might be quite nice, you know, or even a team of, say, Danny Rick and a Gasly, or Danny Rick and a, I don't know, you know what I mean? I'd like someone who's a bit better as well, obviously in the high 80s, mid to high 80s, and then someone who's kind of hovering a bit lower, you know. Lance Stroll, for all we know, he could really pick up, but it's all about performances and what he's offering us this season. So the side pod research is done, which is pretty decent. So we should consider doing a new research project. So as you can see, that's quite an increase on the side pods. This research is for next season, really. We need to try and get ahead for next year. So we've done the side pods. Now, basically, I'm trying to do anything that is to do with the corner speed and the braking, basically. They're the areas I really want to try to attack first and foremost. The side pods were a little bit of that. I think the wings, the front wing and the suspension are probably going to be the two that I have a look at. I'm going to do the front wings first. So we still have quite a lot of time remaining on this. So I'm going to throw quite a bit at it. I maybe wouldn't ordinarily do that, but you know what? We've got so much kind of research in reserve. Because obviously you can see this -5, and this is all to do with the new regs next year. So we kind of need to get on top. I'm just going to leave it pretty balanced. I think that's quite an increase in some areas. So I think we're going to get researching on that. We've got a few available. I'm just going to throw 2 at it, and we'll get that research going as well. I think that will help us going into next season, because the regulations are changing minutely, not too much. And as you can see, we've got this Monaco kind of overview now. Right, so we're just going to do our performance targets. Reach Q2. Yeah, we can leave that. We can leave that. We don't need to put anything else. I'm just going to leave it like really basic. As you can see, our prize money's gone up ever so slightly because of the improvements we've been making to our hub and our facilities, basically. So yeah, it's pretty decent. But anyway, on to the race weekend.
Cars have been racing through Monaco streets since 1929, and this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the new generation of world-class drivers take over Monte Carlo. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco is famous for its many narrow twists and corners. From the brake-heavy Le Rascasse to the treacherous Saint Devote, there are no proper straights to speak of, and it's extremely hard to overtake here. It sounds like simple advice, but getting up as high on that starting grid as possible is the best plan of attack. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
So it's time for practice. As always, I'm going to go away, do practice, tell you how it's gone, and then it'll be on to qualifying. Right, so practice is done, and like last time, I've had a struggle setting one car up and not so much the other. I think a lot of this is just that the drivers drive the cars differently, but we've got Stroll at 74%, which is really, really handy, but Vettel is at 58. I'm going to have to make some tweaks and changes as we head into qualifying. Practice went as practice goes, 17th and 18th, it is what it is. We chisel away, but we're not really getting anywhere. Right, I've made some tweaks to Vettel. I don't know how strong he's going to be this race weekend. I'm going to send Stroll straight out. He's got the stronger of the two cars. I'm going to send him out. We'll get him going very, very early on in the session, and then we will obviously send Vettel out as well. We'll obviously let Stroll get up the road a little bit, and then yeah, we'll send Vettel out now. So let's see how Stroll can do, shall we, in this first hot lap of the session. Don't know what to expect from this race weekend. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough weekend anyway. Is the Monaco Grand Prix kinda to be expected? It's a special Grand Prix, isn't it, on the F1 calendar, Monaco, and I think Stroll is going to get through with absolutely no worries of traffic at all, and we are going to enjoy this lap from the driver's cockpit. Let's have a go and have a see how we can do in this first qualifying session. I feel quite comfortable in Stroll's setup. I would have much preferred this setup to be on Vettel's car. Vettel is the fast driver at the moment, as we've seen from the last two races, really starting to find some consistency. I think it's an 8th and a 13th place finish in his last two races in a car that, you know, is a bottom of the grid car. It's not a quick car. We're really getting the best out of it at the moment, and we've now got to see what Stroll can do. The beautiful hum of the tunnel. I really love that sound effect. That does have to be said. Let's hope that this car in front of Vettel isn't going to get in the way of his hot lap. There is a car out on track just in front of him. It's a bit of a worry, but Stroll's the car we are with at the moment. And here we go. He's going to be coming up to the final corner very, very soon. Where is this going to put Stroll as far as times are concerned? We are going to clock a 1 minute and 13 second .2, and we will now go and check what Vettel is doing. I'll assume that Vettel got past the traffic. It moved out of the way. Really not too sure, to be honest with you. What is Vettel going to manage? It's going to be a 1:12. That's a lot quicker than Stroll. So even with a car that it just clearly isn't as fast, Vettel is just the more experienced and the faster race driver in the team. And he proves it every single race, doesn't he? So we're just going to speed this through a bit now. We're going to see what other cars are doing. And then we might potentially send the cars out. We're going to set them up so that they are ready for another flying lap, should we want to do so. But you know what? We're just going to play it by ear. We're going to see where we are once everybody's set a time. And then if I feel like we can improve, then we'll try and improve, basically. But not many people are sending their cars out too early in the session, are they? They are leaving it quite late in the session. Maybe they're hoping that this racetrack's going to evolve as time goes on. We're actually faster at the moment than an Alpha Tauri and a McLaren, which is very interesting. Is this a traffic thing? I'm not sure. Maybe our laps... Leclerc's done a 1:10. It's an insanely quick lap, isn't it? What do we do? Do we go out again? I'm just going to reduce the speed down ever so slightly. Are we going to want to go out again? I'm taking a look at who's setting a lap. And we're actually, at the moment, in front of a fair few people. And I don't know if this is a traffic thing. I'm actually going to send Lance Stroll out right now. He needs to improve more so than Vettel. And Vettel is dropping down. I'm going to send Vettel as well. Just because I feel like we're at a point where there's going to be some potential here where cars are going to be sending out onto the racetrack. Hopefully, if Stroll can get past that pit straight soon, he's going to be able to get his lap going. Yes, he has done so. He is now on that flying lap, as you can see, gang. Vettel's managed to do it as well, which is really good. So, Stroll's had an issue. What is this all about? He's had an issue during the course of his lap. But, here he comes around the last corner, and he is going to clock. Not sure if he's improved, to be honest with you. Vettel, where are you going to be at, sunshine? Are you going to improve? Not sure just yet, but we are going to wait and see if he can improve on the lap that he set. You need to refuel. Cool car in. He obviously hammered it on that lap, didn't he? He's in 13th. Stroll is in 15th. Maybe this is because obviously he's at chance of going down the pecking order, maybe. Anyway, there's no more we can do during this session, so yeah, it's just a case of seeing what other cars could do out on track. And there's a lot of cars out on track, and that's why I wanted to get them out earlier, because I wanted to see if we could beat this. Now, obviously, some of those cars are going to get a bit of a tow from cars in front of them.
Okay, all the way to zero. All the way to zero.
Checkered flag has gone. We can't improve. But yeah, they're going to get a bit of a tow. That could hurt us. Maybe we should be making the most of that. But at the same time, yeah, Stroll's gone. And Vettel's gone. And I kind of felt like that was going to be the case. It's not a great qualifying session. We've qualified where practice finished. It's kind of where I expect us to be.
Welcome to race day. And before we get down to it, last-minute checks are being made.
Aston Martin were on target for qualifying. Now it's up to them to defy expectations for the race itself. Alpha Tauri did rather well in qualifying. Let's see if they can manage to achieve a strong start for the race itself. A sunny day here with only a few clouds in the sky. If things stay this way, the weather shouldn't pose any challenges to the teams.
And you can't get much more excitement than this on race day. It's the Monaco Grand Prix.
Well, here we go. Let's get these cars set up for the race, shall we? I just actually want to quickly go back. Yeah, we're going to have a very dry, clear race. And, yeah, we're going to go... Obviously, we're going to do a two-stop race. Sorry, a one-stop race. And I think I'm going to go... Vettel's the faster car. But I think I might go on a hard to soft strap with him. And I might go medium to hard strap with... Stroll, and I might just see how it goes. I feel like because Vettel is so quick, those soft tyres for a while at the end of the race might do him some good. He got 78% confidence in the car in the end. I actually did pretty well getting him to that point. I'm gonna sort that. So yeah, we're gonna set this, and I'm gonna go to a medium to hard strat, I think, for Lance Stroll. I'm a bit disappointed in the qualifying session, but the car just isn't quick enough, and I feel like with every upgrade, we're not getting any extremes with the car. We're not really seeing a lot. It's just very minute improvements.
Now we should have good weather for the race, and that will be welcome news for the teams. And there's Sebastian Vettel. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. Everything's been building to this. We're here and the streets are abuzz at the Monaco Grand Prix.
Here we go. And lights out, we are racing.
And away we go.
I'm going to follow Vettel because he is the front car out of the two. And yeah, let's just see what happens. Basically, going into that first corner, it looks like Vettel might have.
Still a lot to play for.
Stroll's lost a place, and Vettel's gained a place, which is very nice from Vettel. Does have to be said, doesn't it? Very, very good.
It's good.
Maybe Stroll got that place back as well. Not good from Stroll, though, to lose a place to the Williams.
Let's focus.
This is the thing about Monaco. Look at the bunch. Look at the bunching. It's not great, is it?
And a new position, just gained by Williams.
But yeah, Stroll's gone backwards, which is a worry. We've got a faster car than those guys, though, so hopefully we should be able to regain that position. Let's just speed this up ever so slightly. And who is that taking a look? Is that Vettel taking a look? Yes, it was, and Vettel's got past him as well. Vettel's up a couple of positions. Beautiful stuff. There we go. Vettel loving life at the moment. We are pushing quite hard, as we always do in the opening laps. I don't know how smart that is. 78 laps is Monaco, but they are pretty quick laps, aren't they? Pretty much like just over a minute a lap. So there is that kind of plays into your favour. I'm just going to have this ERS going for a little longer before
they've moved up a place.
I'm going to just drop it into neutral now. So Stroll's gained a place as well, I believe. Yep, on Ricciardo. So, very good stuff from both drivers early on in this race. Really good. They kind of need to
DRS is enabled.
make some gains, don't we, early on, to be fair. DRS is now enabled. I'm not sure where the DRS zone is in Monaco. I think it might be through the tunnel. I'm really, really not sure. But yeah, not bad. Vettel up to 15th. Going along quite nicely. Stroll's 17th. Obviously gained that position back from the Williams and overtaken Ricciardo, who's struggling in that McLaren. Always seems to find himself in the back markers in that car. And maybe the McLaren just isn't as quick as maybe I think it should be, because Vettel's not too far behind Norris. Now, I am going to have to just drop him back on that tyre a bit. That tyre has got to go all the way to lap 34-ish, 33, 34. So, yeah, we're just going to settle him in on that tyre now. And we will be doing the same with Vettel in a moment. I feel like Vettel manages his tyres ever so slightly, so I can go a bit ham on the tyres for him. I'm just going to drop it into aggressive until it gets to about the 90, 89, 90% mark. Just to kind of keep pace with that McLaren at the moment. So I'm basically keeping an eye on this in a minute, because I'm kind of trying to see where the DRS zone is. Is it the start pit straight? I'm really not sure. Yeah, there it is. There's the DRS zone. So he has DRS on Norris and can't make the most of it. But he was having a look then, wasn't he? Stroll is having a good go as well behind Tsunoda. He's keeping up with him. Maybe that DRS is helping him along as well. But yeah, this tyre on Vettel's, where has that got to get to? It's got to get to around about the 50 lap mark. So you know what? Excuse me, we're going to have to drop it in. I'm going to apologise if you do hear any coughing during the course of the race. Obviously I can cut the video up and edit it a fair bit, but with this I kind of have to watch the whole thing and commentate, and I'm still struggling a little bit with my throat and this cold that I've been dealing with, gang. So yeah, do apologise just in case you hear any of that. But we're kind of settling in now, aren't we, to the race. This is kind of where I kind of expect us to be. So we will speed through a little and kind of see what happens. Look, if we are caught by that AlphaTauri, it goes past us, it is what it is, okay? If we're caught by that McLaren of Ricciardo and it goes past us, it is what it is. They are faster race cars than us. And, you know, I think this is something that we are having to kind of deal with and sort of micromanage in the races. And it's not worth fighting the cars that are faster than us. I think in certain positions, like if we're in certain conditions and certain positions, then you kind of manage it a bit better than maybe we do. But you know, I just feel like we're in a position at the moment where we just kind of got to make the most of what we're handed. Like Norris, as you can see, is really pulling away from Vettel now, and Tsunoda is around about that second behind Mark. I would not be surprised if Tsunoda catches Vettel at some point, and this always happens when I ease off on the tyre. Because I like to make the tyre last and we settle into the race a little bit, but it does make me wonder if they manage their tyres very different to us. You know, Tsunoda is on that hard tyre. Stroll should really be a bit quicker, but look how much his tyre wear is a lot less, and I think it's because we hammer the tyre in those first few laps, whereas other cars don't. You look at Norris's hard tyre, Tsunoda has taken Vettel. You look at Ricciardo's hard as well. You know, they're getting a lot more out of their tyres. So maybe there's something to be said about my strategy early in the race. Maybe I should be managing it slightly differently. But yeah, we will see. Yeah. Okay. So our fastest laps are 1:19.1, or last lap, I should say. But yeah, we've got nearly 4 seconds on Ricciardo. Maybe that's because he's running that medium tyre. Maybe it is. Where's he got to get to? The 30-something mark. He's on 75% tyre wear. We will have to see how this race goes, won't we? We really will. So yeah, lovely job. Anyway, kind of really settled into the race now. We can really kind of push this on. Monaco isn't the most exciting race. There's not a lot of overtaking. Unless there's an accident, there's not a lot of incident either. So I really don't know how much of this race I'm going to be bringing you, to be honest with you, gang. Vettel's kind of dragging Stroll along at the moment, which is interesting, which is kind of keeping him honest to Ricciardo, who does seem to be catching a little. He was at about 3.5 seconds a while ago, and now he's at 2.5 seconds. So, yeah, they're kind of helping each other along at the minute, aren't they? But it's a strange old circuit. It's a world-famous circuit, but it's not the most entertaining. As you can see, Ricciardo really catching now. 65% tyre wear, 76%. Let's just take a look at where our guys are on the racetrack. As you can see, that gap is very, very small now. A lot of this might be that Vettel's holding Stroll up. Maybe it is. Maybe that's what it is. Very quick through that section though. And the DRS is going to be enabled. Is Stroll going to be quick enough? I think he is. Maybe this is what it is. He's maybe holding him up a little bit and inviting Ricciardo back into the fight and back into the play. Vettel is on the harder tyre. Maybe this medium tyre is a fair bit quicker. But yeah, we're going to be playing the long game, obviously, with Vettel. As you can see, we've got a lot of drivers on the soft tyre. Some on the medium. So yeah, a lot of those I would imagine are going to go onto the hard and then run for the rest of the race, whereas Vettel's going to have done the opposite way around. Basically, it's kind of what I've done. But yeah, it's at about 2 seconds. The gap is at about 2 seconds. If Vettel could improve his pace ever so slightly, then he would drag Stroll along, and that would improve that a little bit. But we have got to micromanage these tyres a fair amount, haven't we? 60-odd% they're at now. And we've got to get them another sort of 14 laps if possible. So it's going to be interesting to see where the tyres are at. Car in the wall. Here we go. We might have a yellow flag. This might get yellow flag, this race. Here we go. Schumacher in the wall. I don't know where Schumacher was running. Oh, yeah, he's gone wide there. He's not had a good time, has he? He looked like he tried to get going again. It's a strange accident, though, isn't it? Not like it wasn't a proper yellow flag, so we won't need to worry too much. Where was Schumacher running, though? Just up the road. Yeah, fair bit in front of us. But he might have to come in and pit. He looks like he had some front wing damage, so might help us a little bit in that respect. Yeah, I think we might be close enough for us to overtake him from that pit. But anyway, let's speed this along. There's Schumacher there. Yeah, he is going into the pit. Is this going to benefit both my drivers? Yes, it is. We're going to go past him. Very nice. Very, very nice. That's going to help us a little bit. A mistake from a driver kind of helped us in the race. So that's not bad at all, is it? Like I say, we're still keeping Ricciardo pretty honest behind us. Where's Ricciardo's tyres at? 76%, and Vettel's is on 70, and they're running the same tyre. I think that's a lot because I hammer at the beginning. I think what they must do is they must go aggressive for a lap or two, ease it in, and then they probably go very much like tune it all the way up on their in lap when they're going to pit. I reckon that's probably the strat that they're employing, which is slightly different to what I do. I'm really new to like this sort of, you know, I'm not new to management sims. Management sims are probably my favourite kind of game, but I'm very new to kind of like a race management sim. There was a really good one that came out a while back, but yeah, other than that, I've not really been playing them. As you can see, Ricciardo closed the gap though. He did close the gap, so then we've got Schumacher. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're really going to have to make the most of our pit windows. We really, really are. I'm going to have to find something from somewhere eventually. With both cars. So he hasn't got long to go until his pit window opens. But I kind of get the feeling that it's inevitable that Ricciardo and Schumacher will probably catch us up and go past us. Vettel's pulled out a bit of a gap on Stroll, and I think that is why Ricciardo's been able to drag Stroll back in. Stroll doesn't have that tug, he doesn't have that DRS tug that Vettel was giving him. Vettel's pace has really improved, whereas Stroll's has fallen off a cliff, to be fair. Stroll's pace is not good at the moment, and I think it's only a matter of time before Ricciardo takes him in the race. Got some pits going on in the top half of the field. What tyres are these guys going on? They're all going on to the hard. So that's basically their pit done. That's going to be them to the end of the race. So, yeah, we're very much competing for a position between 15th and 18th, I think. Ricciardo's got past Stroll. Now 2 seconds away from Vettel. Ricciardo's pace is very good at the moment. And ours is not. Pit window is open. I'm going to burn a bit of this fuel off while we can. I think I'm going to go one lap. And then, yeah, just kind of see where we're at with him. Vettel's got a long way to go. So... yeah, we're going to have to see where these tyres are at. Before I make my decision. Yeah, I think I'm going to... we'll enter this next lap and then we're going to pit, basically. So, I'm just going to ease off a second because I'm going to actually pit Stroll now. I'm going to pit him slightly sooner than I planned. So, he's going on to the hard tyre. So, let's get him on that.
Box.
And I'm just going to hammer this, basically. Vettel's got quite a ways to go yet. We don't really need to be worrying about Vettel, but Stroll, on the other hand, it's a bit different. It's a bit different. Coming in slightly earlier than planned, but I think that kind of makes sense. Where is Stroll at when he enters the racetrack? He is... I'm actually not going to do what I was doing before. I'm actually going to go aggressive. See where that gets us. See if that gets us a few more laps in on a good pace. And then go from there, basically. Where is Vettel? He's running 15th. He's 3.5 seconds ahead. 4 seconds. 5 seconds. Well, he's quite a bit ahead of Schumacher. Something I want to do a minute. So I want to see. Schumacher has pitted. Okay, that's interesting. Ricciardo hasn't. Oh yeah, but that was an enforced pit stop, wasn't it? So he might have to pit again. Yeah, Ricciardo hasn't, and neither of either of the Williams. Right, okay, fair enough. So yeah, that was just to kind of see where we're at. So yeah, Schumacher will have something on us, but I think because of his enforced pit stop, he might have to pit again. So unless he's going to hammer it at some point, I think we're on for maybe a 15th, 16th place finish for Vettel. Stroll is probably going to finish where he is. Unfortunately, it's just kind of how his race has gone. So, yeah. Vettel. Oh my god. Vettel's tyres are a worry. Look how far he has got to go. I might have to change his strategy. We might have to go on to a medium. What did we get out of those mediums? Nearly 35 laps. So, the next couple there's going to be 38 laps. Schumacher's overtaken Vettel. Wow, he caught Vettel quick, didn't he? Yeah, Vettel's kind of pace has gone a little, which is a worry. Yeah. So the way I'm looking at that, it'll be 48 laps in a lap's time. So where would we need to get him? Need to get him to about the 50 lap mark, wouldn't we? On these tyres if we wanted to go onto the mediums. Which I think we might have to do. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get these hards to go as far as I want them to go. Oh my god, I totally forgot about these bloody tyres. Oh god, we might have to conserve those tyres. There's a thing with Stroll. We can do that because he's running so much quicker than those Williams, and I think if we consolidate and just say, look, 18th place, we can do that. Ricciardo and Stroll are both within a second of Vettel. That's interesting. There's going to be a DRS train there. I think it's only a matter of time before Ricciardo overtakes Vettel, and I think a lot of that is these tyres. I do think that's the problem. I think maybe I've hammered this a little too soon and potentially got Vettel's racetrack wrong as well, because we're not a quick car, and I don't think that it really suits us to go with that faster strategy, which is very much a front runner strategy, the soft tyre. I think really the back markers, we should maybe be going hard medium, or medium hard, vice versa, you know. That Schumacher overtook us, and he's now he is 10 seconds up the road. The pace discrepancy is insane. Where are we at? What's that? I actually think I'm going to change Vettel's strategy, and I'm going to get him on the medium tyre pretty soon, actually. It's interesting. Interesting how this race is evolving. Even though we're back markers, it is still interesting how this race is evolving. Stroll's definitely going to have to go into conservation mode, like light mode, at some point in the race. Because they're never seeing the end of the race. Not when you think how many laps we've got left to go. 30, is that 30 laps? Yeah, 30 odd laps. So I might put Vettel on the medium tyre around about lap 50, because I don't think Ricciardo has pitted yet. No, he hasn't. I might go to that medium tyre around about lap 50. So that's lap 50 for Leclerc, who's first, right? So as Vettel is coming up now, he's not on. He's about to enter lap 49. So when I go past, I'm going to go past the pit straight now. And then I'm going to go past it again, and then I'm going to pit him. Basically, we're going to go round the track one more time, and I'm going to pit him, and then I'm going to put him on the what's the name tyre, because we're not doing this. Basically, we're not getting to that soft window. I think we are going to change our strategy. We're going to go onto the medium tyre. I'm just going to hammer this, basically. Going to deploy a bit of energy. We're going to dump a bit of fuel at both drivers. Yeah, Ricciardo overtook Stroll. Didn't even know Stroll was in front of Ricciardo. That was a new thing. So yeah, Vettel's in, but Vettel should be able to see out the race now, and we should be able to go pretty aggressive on this tyre, because it had about 35 laps in it, and he's managed a fair amount, didn't he?
Copy that.
Yeah, totally forgot I had that on deploy. We need to harvest some of that energy now before we can get it back on. Before we can get it back where we want it. What an idiot.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race
Stroll's
position.
overtaken him again. Yeah, we'll just harvest a bit of energy before we put it back on neutral. Yeah, right, we can bang it back on neutral now. So yeah, Vettel, like I was saying, he's only got to manage about 27, 28 laps on this tyre, so we could probably actually go for it a bit more, like in the opening few laps that he's going to be using it. to just gain a bit of pace on some of our competitors, and I think it probably shouldn't go off as much as some of the drivers in front of us as well. Vettel is up to 17th. Stroll's ahead of him. Yeah, Ricciardo's in the pit, and this is what I was kind of hoping for, to be honest with you. So we'll just ease off on that fuel a little, and then I'm going to just... I'm going to keep that going. I'm going to keep it going. He's going to have a bit of life in those tyres. He really is. How far up the road is Stroll? He is 12 seconds up the road. Jesus Christ. And Stroll doesn't have to pit again. Okay, fair enough. I think I've kind of cocked up Vettel's race day here. Because, yeah, he was going a lot better than Stroll was. And, it is what it is. That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, doesn't it? Anyway, we're going to drop him in. He's got a long way to go on these tyres, though. So, yeah, we're just going to have to manage it, basically. Yeah, Vettel's... I don't know. I think I definitely got Vettel's race strategy completely wrong today. He is gaining on Stroll, though. He is gaining on him. Almost a second and a half a lap, to be fair. But then that might just be that he's on the medium and Stroll is on a very well worn out hard tyre. And then, yeah, we're so far away from Schumacher, who may need to pit again, but he might not. He might have done that wing at just the right time, to be fair, because we're looking at that tyre where he might be able to get away with it, you know. Anyway, Vettel is making some inroads, to be fair, on Stroll. As this race goes along, I could still see Vettel finishing in front of Stroll, you know. It's a disappointing race. It really is. It's just... This is where we're at, though. This is where we are at. There's not much we can do about it, you know. I need to just drop that in, otherwise we're going to run out of fuel before the race is over. Vettel's going to be passing Lance Stroll before we know it. He is going to be passing him before we know it. Come on, he needs to get past him though, so that we don't draw Ricciardo back in. That's the last thing we want to be doing. There we go. Vettel's got past him. Vettel is now 30 seconds up the road to Schumacher though. That is more than a pit stop in his pocket, but yeah, it's probably on the faster tyre though. That might help a bit, but there's not long to go in this race now. There really isn't long to go at all. Stroll is being caught by Ricciardo, so yeah, that's going to be a thing. He's being caught very quickly as well. Wow. As you can see, Vettel is making some inroads on Schumacher, but just not quick enough. Unless Schumacher had to make a pit stop, which he might. We'll have to see. But yeah, unless he has to make a pit stop, I don't think there's enough. We're within a pit stop's difference. As you can see, he's really catching. Really catching. He's pulled out a massive lead on Stroll. Vettel's pace has been very good. Very, very good on this medium tyre. Maybe I did get his strategy very, very wrong. Because his pace has been very good on this tyre. Ricciardo's taken Stroll. There's really no surprise in that. Stroll's pace has been very bad. I'm going to go light. We've got to see these tyres out. He's got a massive 40-second lead over Albon. So it's not going to hurt us. Vettel's the one I'm kind of keeping an eye on at the moment. Because he is catching Schumacher at an alarming rate at the minute. And I think that's because Schumacher's tyres have gone off and he wants to get them to the end of the race. 12 seconds though in 3 laps. I just don't think it's doable, unfortunately. But he's come into the pits. He has come into the pits. We knew that was going to happen. He was never going to last on that tyre. He did not have the pace in the race, in the latter section of the race. So yeah, I think Vettel is going to take 15th position, which is really good to see, to be fair. I think he's very much kind of deserved that with the race that he's kind of... I thought I'd really messed his race up, but the latter part of the race, he's really kind of put it together, hasn't he? And he's done a pretty good job, to be fair to him. He's had a lot more pace on this medium tyre. I feel like I really cocked his race. Really cocked his race up, to be fair. Trying to stick him on that extended hard tyre strategy. I think this is Vettel's last lap. So, yeah, it's one of those. You can't win them all, gang. You can't, you know... Tsunoda was over nearly a lap ahead of us in 14th. Like, wow. That's where we're at, gang. That's kind of where we're at. And the street circuits just don't suit us. You know, we've done a couple of street circuits now, and they don't suit us, you know. But yeah, we'll go over the line with Sebastian Vettel, something I don't do very often, but we'll take the checkered flag with him, and there you go. Vettel's race is done and dusted. 15th position, not a bad day, but 18th for Stroll, work needed. So not the greatest race weekend, it has to be said, but a 2-position gain for Sebastian Vettel has to be seen as a small win. Lance Stroll finishes where he started. We are where we were, basically. Lance Stroll has lost a position. Magnussen picking up a point. So that means that Haas have a point on the board. So Williams are now dead last. We're still in 8th. And yeah, that's kind of our target for this season, is to finish there. That'll be seen as a good season. And so that brings this episode to an end, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know we're back markers, but there is still some small bits of entertainment to be had. It's another street circuit next time. Baku, be sure to join me for that, my friends. But if you're new around here enjoying the content, feel free to go and check out some of the other stuff and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video when it drops. Drop a like on this video and feel free to leave your comments. That's the best way to show some appreciation. But until the next one, stay safe, stay humble. See you real soon.